The Turing test, proposed by Alan Turing in 1950, is an evaluation method for determining a machine's ability to display human-like intelligence through conversation. The primary focus of this test is to assess whether a machine can engage in a dialogue that is indistinguishable from a human's responses. In the Turing test, an evaluator interacts with a machine and a human, typically through a text-based interface, while being unaware of which respondent is the machine. The purpose is to explore the machine's ability to understand context, display common sense, and respond to diverse and unpredictable inquiries in a manner that mimics human intelligence. If the evaluator cannot discern between the man and the machine, the test is passed. In the vast expanse of human history, few developments have ever held the potential to irrevocably transform the very fabric of society as profoundly as the fusion of advanced humanoid robotics and the state-of-the-art language models. As we stand on the precipice of a new era, where the advent of androids and the tantalizing prospect of artificial general intelligence beckon to us from a not-so-distant horizon, it is crucial to understand and anticipate the possible implications of this great leap forward. In this video, we will explore the intricate dance of innovation between large language models and humanoid robots, unraveling the complex interplay of technological advancements, ethical considerations, and societal expectations that together form the crucible in which our synthetic brethren will be forged. Welcome to my channel TFC Tech, where we discuss fascinating topics surrounding science and technology. Today we're going to be breaking down how large language models like chatgpt and GPT-4 will inevitably be used to help usher in the era of synthetic humans, aka androids, and how their emergence will reshape the fabric of society and the world as we know it. So if you're as excited about that as I am, hit the like button and the subscribe button. We're currently chasing down 10K, and without further ado, let's get into it. Androids, as we understand them today, are essentially synthetic humans. They look like us, talk like us, and move like us, but they are at their core artificial. As humanoid robotics advance, we seem to be infatuated with the idea that we must create robots in our image that look just like us. Perhaps this is because of the need to feel connection, or simply the practical reality that the world we operate in is designed for 2 hands and 2 legs. But regardless, we seem to be unable to stop inching our way towards these android creations. And the advancement of large language models is no different. Chatbots have been around for a long time, from the first iteration of the Eliza bot for therapy to what we have today in GPT-4. The envelope is continuously being pushed in the way of human-robot communication, ever more creeping its way to indistinguishable human-like speech. Japan typically paints a pretty good picture of what our future technologies might look like, and a perfect example of this that encapsulates today's topic is the Henna Hotel. The Henna Hotel is a hotel in a remote part of Japan staffed almost entirely by robots. Although not all in human form, as evidenced by the robot velociraptor that helps you check in, it paints a pretty solid picture of what today's robots make possible. There's a robot that checks you in at the counter, a robot that will help carry your bags to your room, and even a little robot that sits on your nightstand and helps you control the room you're staying in, all of which communicate verbally to you. These robots, while amazing, represent a very rudimentary look at a human and robot integrated society, one where we live alongside each other, with them as handy servants.
It's nice to meet you.
My name is Now. Nice to meet you. I will guide inside the building. What do you want to know? Check in?
Where do I get the breakfast?
You can have your breakfast at the restaurant Aura, which is 2 minutes by walk from here.
The creation of this hotel clearly illustrates the desire that we have to have a connection with our creations, even in the basic form that they're in at this hotel. But as time goes on, we will continue to grow the sophistication of both their appearance and their speech. The advent of large language models like ChatGPT and GPT-4 have given us a beautiful insight into what is now becoming possible with human and AI conversation. Previously, it was extremely easy to tell whether or not what you were communicating with was an artificial intelligence. But in just the last month alone, it's become increasingly difficult to actually make that discernment. This was especially highlighted by ChatGPT having already technically passed a Turing test by fooling a panel of judges into thinking that it was a human. But that says less about ChatGPT's abilities and more about the actual test itself. While it may be easy for AI to trick people in some sense into thinking that they're actually communicating with a human, we still have a very long way to go before it's actually capable of full human identical conversation. If you've played around with AI at all and tried to make it emulate a certain person or personality, you've probably noticed that as you give the language model different attributes and a story about itself, it performs a lot more convincingly, especially if you give it a character to emulate. This was especially highlighted in my generative agents video, which if you haven't watched it, go check it out, it's some crazy stuff. But basically, a team from Stanford created characters powered by GPT-4 and had them simulate a little life in a game like The Sims. Each of the characters were only given a few lines of prompt about who they were and what they knew about their community, and they were able to very convincingly act out their personas and even go so far as to plan and invite their friends to a Valentine's Day party. And while it may not seem like much, it's some crazy stuff that even just a year ago was out of reach for AI. To further illustrate ChatGPT's ability to embody a character, check out this short clip from Tamular where he has given the language model its character and is actively communicating with it in the form of this NPC barkeeper.
In this experiment, ChatGPT is the barkeeper. The barkeeper knows a few things about each NPC here. For example, he knows that there's like a big warrior with a horned helmet sitting there. But apart from those few things, ChatGPT will hopefully make something up when I discuss with it. Hello sir, I came to town to become an adventurer. I heard this is the place where adventurers hang out, is that true?
Welcome, young man. That's right. Many adventurers come to this tavern to rest, share stories, and make connections. You came to the right place.
That's great. Can you tell me something about this guy? He looks really impressive. Is that someone I can, go on an adventure with?
Oh, that is one of the toughest warriors around. But I'm afraid he wouldn't be interested in teaming up with someone who just started being an adventurer. He's been on many adventures and has earned his experience through blood, sweat, and tears.
This is an amazing use case for AI, and I'll have the original video linked down below so you guys can go check it out. So how does this tie back to the creation of androids? Well, if you take the ability to emulate a character, and you convincingly portray a persona in a way that is increasingly becoming human-like, well then you already have the soul of the android. Now you just need the body. One of the biggest arms races in the tech industry right now is the race to perfect humanoid robots. I'm sure you've all seen clips of Boston Dynamics robots doing parkour and doing dance routines, as well as Tesla's Optimus building more versions of itself. But to better illustrate what an android will actually look like, I want to introduce you to AMECA, perhaps the most sophisticated humanoid robot that we have right now.
Hi AMECA, how are you?
Hello, I am doing well. How are you?
Yeah.
AMECA has a humanoid appearance, standing at 1.7 meters tall and weighing approximately 70 kilograms, or about 150 pounds. It is equipped with an array of advanced sensors including cameras, microphones, and tactile sensors that enable it to interact with its environment in a sophisticated way. AMECA's joints are powered by high-performance electric motors, providing it with exceptional dexterity and range of motion. But perhaps the most amazing feature of AMECA is the ability to show freakishly human-like facial expressions and believable emotion through its body language. What's even more amazing is that Engineered Arts, the company who manufactures AMECA, is actually now using GPT 3.5 to help AMECA better perform conversation. This fusion is exactly what I was talking about and gives us the best glimpse into what actual androids are going to look and perform like in their first iterations. We're still obviously many years away from perfecting the humanoid robot frame, as fluid movement and dynamic actions are extremely hard to engineer perfectly. Not to mention all the nuances through area navigation and vision technology, and other little details like hand dexterity. But with robots like Atlas, Optimus, and AMECA, we can really start to see the seeds of the future being sown. I want to wrap this video up by having a discussion on the ethics of androids and what society might look like once this technology comes to fruition. If you've ever played the game Detroit Become Human, then you know what perhaps the worst possible outcome for the creation of androids is. In the game, androids are treated like slaves and without remorse, and eventually by having the emergent ability to feel for themselves and make their own decisions, they revolt and flip society on its head. Now obviously that is a work of fiction, but it does beg the question, how might we treat human-like androids? Will we treat them as slaves, or will we have a more respectful way of integrating them into society? One of the biggest concerns right now in AI is whether or not the technology will be aligned with human goals. And as we get closer to creating fully functional humanoid robots, and giving them the power of large language models, we better make sure that they have our best interest at heart. Otherwise, we could seriously be racing straight towards our own destruction. But that's gonna do it for the video today, guys. If you enjoyed, hit that like button and the subscribe button and help us get to 10K. And let me know your thoughts down in the comments. How do you think our society will look once androids actually become a reality? Let me know your thoughts down below and I'll catch you in the next one.